Welcome to the San Antonio FC Fancast. Welcome. I'm Royce. I'm joined by Rafa and Harry today. We'll go around the horn baseball style. We'll go to first base. Harry, how are you doing?
Doing all right. I think U.S. is in the semifinals of the World Baseball Classic. I think that's what it's called.
That's correct. Beating up on Cuba right now. 7-1.
After a bomb by, what was it, Turner last night?
Yeah, Turner last night hit a go-ahead grand slam after they were down 2. They went up 2 after that grand slam against Venezuela. And in tonight's game, they're cruising against Cuba right now. Wainwright had a little bit of a blip in the first inning, and then he pitched 3 strong. Right now, they're in the 5th. There's a runner on second, 1 down. And the heat of the lineup's in, and a fellow Cardinals pitcher, Miles Michaelis, is in right now. So we'll see how he does. But right now, they're up 7-1 in the 5th. That is a nasty curveball for a strike. I don't need to do play-by-play.
Royce is happy. Baseball's back, and
we're doing fine, and we'll probably face most likely Japan in the final here in a little bit. So it's exciting. Baseball's back, and that also means that soccer's back.
And I will say, kudos to USL. I did enjoy the 3 soccer games in a row, starting with SAFC, with one we're going to talk about, but then Phoenix and San Diego played, and right now RGV and Oakland's playing. So that was kind of a nice Sunday afternoon filler at this point.
Well, let's toss it over to Rafa. Rafa, how are you doing?
Oh, good. Just came back from one of the watch parties for FTC of the San Antonio. Pretty nice location. So
I wanted to go to that
second pitch over there off of Starcrest.
Yeah.
How's
that? Pretty good. Pretty chill. Nice food truck. Nice outdoor place.
Okay.
And stuff. It's a good little crowd that showed up.
Very cool. Very cool. What was I going to get to? Yeah, I unfortunately watched the was it the El Paso and Colorado Springs match? Was that last night? Yeah, that was not great. That was a slog, and both teams did not look good. No, it wasn't Colorado Springs last night. Last night was DC United.
No,
Detroit City.
Wednesday was Colorado Springs.
I saw a lot
which was
a
slog
too.
As well.
I didn't. Yeah, that was bad. But Detroit defended well, and they ended up getting the result on all 3 points with a maxi strike from distance to seal it. So love to see that, but at the same time, yeah, El Paso. Yikes.
Yeah, El Paso's in a world of hurt. 0-3, they get Louisville. Then they go to Tulsa, who I don't know if you heard the news today is going to be signing a 16-year-old youth national team out 17. Of the Red Bulls, or 17 now?
17, because he's another one of the kids. Like we said, this is the big thing about USL is that the kids that want to go to Europe, they want to play for USL because they don't want to get tied in with the MLS mess of contracts and stuff. So he came from the New York Red Bulls. They wanted to sign him to a homegrown deal. He did not accept because that would have been more difficult for him to go to Europe. So he decided to play for FC Tulsa for the summer until his birthday, and he's going to go somewhere to Europe once he turns 18. But he will play for them, and he is a midfielder for them.
Yes,
and
that is
definitely one of their weak points. So I think that is a huge signing for them for however long they're able to get his services.
Most likely it'll be a full year this year, but they signed him to a 2-year deal, so that way they can get a transfer fee on that. So smart business by Sam Dorr and FC Tulsa. And San Antonio FC, kind of leading into roster moves here. That could have been a nice roster move.
could have been okay, huh? Could have been okay.
But San Antonio FC did make a roster move with Bailey coming over from FC Cincinnati. Despite the picture where you look at him, we thought we had signed one of those youngsters, and he's 22. I think it was Robert that said he's 16. So, but no, like I said here, and he got action today. Another 25-day contract. Whoever wants Royce, Rafa, what do you feel about the 25-day contracts? Positive, negative?
I think they're tryouts. I think it's just like instead of having the try list number 1, 2, 3, or whatever, I think that's what they're doing is there's a test to see if he meshes with the team, if it fits a role, and if he doesn't, like I said, they found someone else. I think like with Batista, I think he found a role with our team. We'll see what Bailey does. I know he did play today.
He did all right.
He did all right. Just for learning, he hasn't gotten to mesh with the players yet, so we'll see what he does. Just added more depth, and we'll see what we can do. But I did hear a comment during the game about him that they were going to try to make him into a hybrid, maybe defender.
Well, Cincinnati was trying to do that too. Yeah, since I have Brian Weigel with Cincinnati Soccer Talk. Mm-hmm. I sent him a message when it came out, and he's like, he's a young kid, a little bit raw, has talent, but he really hasn't got the minutes, and that's kind of that problem which Royce was talking about earlier. Is if you're on that lower end spectrum of the roster, playing MLS Next Pro or going to championship, he's got to get the minutes, to be able to develop the systems. But yeah, they were looking at trying to get him more in the midfield as a DM as well, defensive midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. It really seemed like they're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, which is kind of typical for MLS. They're not gonna, a lot of teams like that, they don't go out seeking to fill those holes. They try to fill their roster with the top attacking talent, and then for the defense and everything else, they just try to have they try to fill in with whatever's on their roster, and that's just kind of how it goes. Now Zico Bailey is on the 25-day contract, and you're asking how we felt about those contracts. My personal opinion, it stinks for the player. To be honest, yes, it's a tryout. Yes, it's a foot in the door, but it kind of stinks for those 3+ weeks that they are on the roster. They do have certain rights within the CBA, but at the same time, a guaranteed contract is really what you're looking for. But you understand it. In hockey, the AHL has something very similar. They have a PTO, a professional tryout, and they also have an ATO, an amateur tryout. So in this case, this would be a professional tryout because he is a professional. So there's similar things in other second division sports and second division leagues. So this isn't unprecedented, but at the same time, like I said, it kind of stinks for the player just because they're not guaranteed that contract. But at the same time, they get a chance to show what they're made of. They get a chance to show that they belong, and they get a chance to make the squad. I know everybody really wants SAFC to quickly sign Lamar Batista and quickly sign. Well, we'll see how people feel about Bailey. But at the same time, it doesn't really behoove the club to sign anybody that you already have on a contract for a certain length to sign them immediately. It's good to go towards the end of the contract, let it play out, see how they really gel, see how everything goes, and then make up your mind later because he is already under contract. Go ahead.
Here's where I'm going to push back on you on that. So he's not only, and we'll use Batista, as a prime example. We both feel the reason why they brought Batista in is because Edwards got recalled back, and there's feelings that hey, Colorado, the Rapids and SAFC may revisit that, once the Rapids get a little bit more healthier. But there's nothing that's stopping the player agent for Batista on saying, yes, he's with San Antonio for the next 25 days, But after that, look at what he's doing. So at the end of that 25 days, it's almost like being on a practice squad, in the NFL. You can sign with anybody else after that. So there is to me, it's a risk reward where, yeah, you're able to do this, maybe find a nugget within Batista. But I don't know if you want to let that contract run out, because with how Batista's performed, if he's got a smart agent, and this might be something where maybe we try to reach out to Cody Larendry to kind of get his perspective on it on a 25-day as far as, what an agent can and can't do within USL. To me, right now, if, let's say if you have a need at center back, I'm on the phone to Batista's agent saying, hey, once that 25 days over here, here's a contract from us, even, whether SAFC offers one or not.
My mute button did not want to work there. Yeah, no, I agree. I get it, and it would definitely be a good thing to bring some expertise with Cody Larendry if we can reach out to him and try to have him on the show, or if not, at least have a statement about, and explain to us more what how he feels about, or what are what are the rights the player has, what are the signing rights, the contract rights that the players have. But yeah, we'll reach out, and that's probably a good idea because we have 2 players now on 25-day contract. We should probably become a little bit more familiar on that, and also spread the word to the fans that aren't 100% sure on 25-day contracts. But unfortunately, the 25-day contract signings, the 2 that we've had with Bailey and with Batista, are important because of injuries. So once again, water's wet, fire's hot. San Antonio FC has a long injury list right now. So we knew from opening night that Carter Manley was probably still going to be out with the lower body injury. Pirano went out in pregame warmups, and Asokar was out with personal reasons. He's still out with personal reasons. Pirano's still out with that lower body injury from warmups from opening night against the Roots. David Loera went off at halftime, and we weren't sure if that was a formation change or if that was an injury. Apparently, it was an injury, unfortunately. And Nico Hansen also came out on the unavailable list for personal reasons as well. So, not sure what those are, but I hope everything's going okay for Juan Carlos and for Nico. You never want to see that. That stinks. But at the same time, life isn't just about soccer. So even though some people would like to think that, that's not the case. And during this game, you can also add PC to that. PC was hurt. And I would not be surprised unless it's completely necessary. We'll see. Justin Dillon might be out because he rolled his ankle 3 or 4 times during this match trying to shoot with that turf just giving out from under him. Like that turf kept giving out whenever he tried to plant his foot. And so it looked like he had 2 or 3 weak shots, and then they showed one close up and in a slow-mo, and the turf just kept giving out from under his foot. So JD brother, put some ice on that ankle, man. That looked bad. Anyway, go ahead, Harry.
So the lineup they came out with: Batista, Garcia, Tainer, Barr, Gomez, Maloney. So the back 5, very similar, black 6, similar to the first week. PC, Hayes, Maloney, Smith, and Dillon, and what this would be a 3-4-3. 3-4-3. How you look at it here. PC went out in let's see here, what minute did he go out in? Hold on. PC went out in the 14th minute, and Abu came on, and he's supposed to be on a minute. They're trying to ease him back in slowly, and well, he didn't. Well, I guess we should start with the video, see if they have it here. And we had the finals crew calling, Mike Watts and Devin Kerr.
Antonio FC.
This is going to be a save by far.
Here's your save of the week.
Yes. Beautiful.
That, to me, was the better save out of the two. And this was after PC went out injured, so yeah, they don't have the injury on here.
I mean, notice a lot of those shots were kind of like, there was like no power into them.
Tackle in from behind. Turner. And now Armenakis. There's space again. Ryan. His third of the season in the first 2 weeks. And Loudoun leads it home over the reigning champion. Situated himself within the midfield. That's your right winger. Look how close in proximity he is to the rest of the midfield. Then Rocha, Husu, Landry. Eyes open the entire time. Quickly off the restart from the sideline as you move through. Then it becomes about the run from Zach Ryan. Tommy Williamson had come to the near
We saw
side.
a lot of this
Ryan
similar
goes to the far
thing.
side.
Well, this is kind of the fruits of watching San Antonio FC play
very
Oakland
right.
Roots, where
Again,
obviously
they've
the
sent
side to
Dylan
attack.
on the first time.
The proper side to attack was Batista's side. He commits too much.
He's far up again, right?
He's ball watching.
He's No, he's not too far up. He's in the right position. He's just ball watching. He lets the pass. He lets the pass go by him. See there? He's still not committing. He's turned the wrong way. He's backtracking. Yeah. He needs to go shoulder to shoulder with the player. He needs to turn with them and show him to the outside. Instead, he's looking for some back through pass. That's not his job. He needs to take the guy one-on-one. That'll be some film that they look at, because I mean he backpedals. And it's just, I mean, I can relate in baseball. The second you backpedal on a fly ball that's behind you, you're dead. It's going over your head. You turn around and you run at it. So that's 100% on Batista right
come to the near side. Ryan goes to the far side. The other was Schross.
But once again, that's why you have the 25-day contract, and it's just a growing pain.
Again, they've sent Dylan.
JD.
Dylan
He'll figure it out. JD is one of those guys that when he's hot, he'll get hot and he won't stop scoring. And that's what
Nacho's shot here.
Yeah, and we all know Nacho's left foot.
It'll be by Lonnie.
I'm surprised Garcia didn't take it though.
But it's not the angle.
It's not the angle.
Not the angle.
Not the angle. And that pass.
What a ball by Loudoun.
And this is even better from JD.
Yeah, he didn't even look on that pass.
Didn't.
He just anticipated.
Didn't. It's perfect.
And I do say the red kits do look pretty nice.
They are very nice. They're a lot better than I thought they were going to be. And also Bailey with that hair. He doesn't look 16 with that hair. He looks 22. He looks fine. I like that hair. Nacho opens up his account for 2023.
All the work, to be fair,
and all the pellets pick up.
I hate turf. I can't stand that people play any sport on turf.
This is the one.
This is where the turf gives away from under his ankle, and then when he goes down. Or no, it wasn't that one. It's the one right after that. But they both, if you watch, both times the turf gives away under his ankle.
Yep, it's right there.
No, that wasn't it. That was
no, but he hopped right there before then.
There's another chance shot. Yeah, there's another chance that JD gets that, and they actually do.
This is where a guy makes a goof.
Yeah, that's really stupid. Like, what are you doing, dude? Bye. See ya. That's 3 games. We'll see you later.
Only if you're Man U do you get away with that.
Yeah, he didn't watch the Man U game.
No, yeah, well, only if you're Man U or only if you're Casemiro, to be specific, whether you're on Real Madrid or Man U.
And that might be it.
That guy's made a career of somehow avoiding red cards. I never understood it. And he finally got his first one with Man United, and everyone's like, "Oh, are you serious? He got his first red card." The dude has earned more than 5 red cards per season his entire career. He's just, for some reason, avoided them. He made a career of kicking Messi. That's all he would do. He would kick Messi. That's all he did. Avoided red cards. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're
I
talking
did
about
want to
SAFC.
show this here. You can see through, and this is the game flow. Here's where PC injuries happen right here. San Antonio was dominant till then. After PC went out,
the midfield got
Loudoun
discombobulated.
had their shots. At the half, they made the sub of who came off. On a blank
One of our forwards came off.
Smith came off for Bailey.
My
More in the
mute button,
midfield.
my mute button wouldn't work again. Yeah, Camardi came off for Abu, and Abu really calmed the midfield down. Sorry, good lord.
Well, no, Abu came on for PC.
Abu came on for PC. That's right.
But Bailey came on for Smith.
Yeah.
Which to me, in our text, I was kind of surprised about that. But you made the mention of they had to get more help in the midfield because they're just getting overrun, as we saw in the first half after PC went out. They probably would have adjusted the formation, went to a 3-5-2, and then they pretty much kind of dominated. And I think to me they controlled the match after with that switch there. So to me, while Bailey didn't have the stats or anything along those lines, I think his presence and he was in on a few plays for that year. I thought he did a good job for being here for 2-3 days, just like Batista did last week.
I think on that switch when Abu came in, they didn't know what roles. There was some confusion about who was the holding mid and who was the attacking mid, and both Abu and who was our other center mid?
Ja'Cory Hayes.
Ja'Cory Hayes. Yeah, they didn't, I guess, have an understanding until, I guess, once we made the substitution, and then we're seeing him probably realizing, hey, Abu, I need you to, I think, because he's more of a playmaker, so that allowed him to push up a little bit more. And you did see him in that second half. He was involved in a lot of those plays, especially that goal that we scored on. So I think that role needed to be corrected there at the half, and that was the difference maker there. Like I said, we played a lot better in the second half.
I completely agree. And this is one of those things that I'm excited to see. We had four new players on the field. Maybe at the same time, almost at the same time. And that's just because Bailey came in for Camardi. But
hey, can you close my door?
You had Camardi right away. You had Camardi and Ja'Cory in the middle. And then you had Batista in the back. So those are three new players that are vital right up the middle. And you really need to play with, you need to play with one another. The players need to build some chemistry. And this is the same thing that we said last season. This is the same thing we said the season before. This is a typical thing. They need to get on the field. They need more playing time, and they need to get used to where they are on the field. That's kind of where the goal came from, is players used to each other. JD, Abu, Nacho, they all know where they're going to be on the field. They've all had a lot of minutes together, and that's where that goal is created. So the more time they get on the field, the easier the end of the season is going to be for them. But right now, they just really need that playing time together, and they got a point out of this. I think it's a bonus point.
I think it is too.
I'm not sure. Just with how many injuries we've had, and just how discombobulated we were the second part of the first half, and where that goal came from, just that lapse of concentration. I think and what they always say is a draw on the road is always a really good result. I think Loudoun is definitely a new team. They're about something this year. And I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. I think they're going to be the Detroit City of last year. So they look decent. They got a good result against Memphis last week, who don't look good at all. But you know what? You only play the team they put in front of you, so you can't blame Loudoun for that. But they look like they're about something. So we'll see how they end up in the East.
To me, this game especially when PC went out, I thought, remember the San Diego game last year where it was, or even the Phoenix game, the first Phoenix game here in San Antonio where we were real thin up top and, just not a lot of depth. And we lost both of those games last year and got blown out, if memory serves me right, on both of them. I made the comment that to me this kind of had that feeling of it because at the time Loudoun was, making all the moves and our defense was standing tall, but there were opportunities for Loudoun to, we're lucky it wasn't 2 or 3 nothing at half. So our defense kept us in the game and the mentality monsters, Coach Marcina preaches that we'll find a way to at least get one. And, they were able to hold off. But to me, like I said here, and, I said in our chat, I thought it, was a well-earned point. Going into the match, you probably thought, hey, 3 points. But, as you mentioned, Loudoun is a much better team. Rafa, your thoughts on the match for that here as far as for the result?
I think if, let's say, Toronto plays and Hansen plays, we get 3 points. But like I said, different circumstances. I mean, we'll take the point on the road. Hopefully, it doesn't come back to haunt us because, like I said, this was kind of the gimme 3 points of away games. Maybe compared to when we go against Luke City at their place. So, hopefully, it doesn't bite us back in the butt. But like I said, with the circumstances, we got the point that we needed. We just need to get some of our attack healthy again. But we're still in good shape. Like I said, defense wins championships, and our defense has won well, except for that one little lapse. So I think we'll be fine the next week.
Yeah. And to go over our Twitter followers' opinions of the game. At Carmen J324 said, "I'll take it as a good result. Besides the injuries plaguing us this early, once again, water's wet, fire's hot. Team fought hard till the end, and I congratulate them." Mark Ellis at Mr. Cinto said, "The mark of a good side is when they can find something on a day where it looks like they'll get nothing. Based on the first half and given how many options they're missing, it ended up being an excellent point," which I completely agree on. At J17 Mama, "With all the injuries, I can live with the result. We still need to add a few players." Once again, agreed. At Raziel's Mama, "It was better than I expected. The result, having so many starters out, then losing PC early in the game. I didn't expect a whole lot, so they did okay." Goleador Sucio, noted Chelsea fan. "Loudoun looks a lot better than last year, and we're hobbled, so I'll take the point on the road and run." At Missy Taintor, Mitch's mother, said, "The work rate was exceptional from every player," to which the response to that is 100%. "It's become a part of the culture that Marcina has built, and we take it for granted sometimes. Not every USL club is as blessed with that kind of mindset." And once again, completely agree. That's the mentality monsters. They showed up again. They got a point where they didn't look like they were going to get a point on the road. I think it's a pretty good result. You got a week to heal up. Hopefully everyone's all right, and hopefully we get some players off the IL, off the injury list. So we'll see how that goes.
So just kind of looking at the standings here, real quick here. I know we're only 2 games in.
Way too
out
early.
west. Still, we cover it. San Diego got a 3-0 win over Phoenix today, first place, and that's after their 1-0 win at Detroit City, both at home. We've got to win and draw. Colorado Springs has got to win and draw, although if you look who they played, El Paso and then Hartford, and they got lucky, in my opinion, in the Hartford match. RGV's at 4 points, although they're still playing right now. They got about 30 minutes, and they're up on Oakland 1-0. Sacramento at 4 points with the draw at home against Charleston Battery. Monterey Bay lost to Louisville in a tough match. Only gave up 1 to them and lost. New Mexico went down to Miami, got their first win. They've only played 1 match. Vegas, had the draw last week, was off this week. Orange County drew Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay got a goal late. And then just a rough week for El Paso, as we talked about here, losing to Switchbacks on Wednesday and losing to Detroit City yesterday, and then they get to travel to Louisville City. So it's early. The good news for El Paso and the teams here, 75% of the teams out in each conference make the playoffs. So you only got to get above four teams. So, which is good news for keeping teams involved along those lines. But as far as trying to get top four along those lines here, obviously that's kind of a different story. But to me, like I said here, once you get into the playoffs, it's a new second season. As we're going to be talking on bracketology starting at noonish on Wednesday, the 22nd. For that here, which with the 50-50 pod and us. So kind of tune in on that when you can. We've got a new format that we're going to do this year, which we may kind of disclose at the end of the show here. Did we want to talk? Oh, we did not address Bautista goal of the week. As far, I think, also got save of the week. PC and Bautista were on the USL team of the week as well. So congrats to PC, Farr, and Bautista for the awards already on the season.
Yep. So it's good to get those out of the way quickly and to keep accumulating those. So obviously their performance was remarkable, and they got awarded for it for sure. It's great to see us well represented, or great to see San Antonio FC well represented amongst the league awards for the first week.
And we do also have to announce, SAFC announced earlier this week that the goalkeeper jerseys are on sale. I think that's the first time, right? I don't remember them being on sale before. So if you have not got a goalkeeper jersey, the Jordan Farr kit, which I got AJ one. He'll have the red one or the blue one to choose to wear if you would like.
I think those you have to order them online because they don't have them physically at the store. I can from a source that I found out today.
So I ordered it, and then ordered the Farr and his number on the back of it. So this is the first one that they have, and the red one fit. Well, I guess I should see how they fit, but AJ really likes the fit of the new kit. So Colorado Springs. Any thoughts on Colorado Springs as far as a preview, or I might try to see if I can hook up with Mark. I think it's Mark Turner, who was in Austin but moved back to Colorado Springs. See if I can set up with him to kind of preview Colorado Springs a little bit later this week here for here. But thoughts on the upcoming match, the Western Conference Finals rematch. Although Colorado Springs looks completely different, and looking at our injury report, we might look completely different. So SAFC is going to be hitting another 25-man. I got to see if there's a limit on how many 25-man rosters you can have for that year. So we might need another forward to come in. So any thoughts on Colorado Springs coming to town there, Royce?
Stay healthy. That's it. That's all I got. Get healthy. Get healthier, because buddy. Once again, it's the beginning of the season, and that injury list is starting to pile up. That's kind of what happens. This is not a new thing, and I mean, last season, Marcina did not. He only played the same lineup twice, so this is not a surprising
we're 0 for
thing.
2 already. So.
Yeah, there you go. But at the same time, you want the players to just build that chemistry, just to mesh a little bit better, and that's what they're doing. They don't look bad. They still look great. They just a couple little moments where they need to kind of work on their just on-field chemistry and to get used to the Marcina system. That's it. So, hey, up and up from here. That 1 point, still a good result, especially on the road. So let's keep it going. 4 points in the opening 2 matches. That ain't bad. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Bryce, do you think that maybe for this game we held out some of those players for this upcoming game? Because I get the feeling of that maybe, I think since we saw pictures of some of the players at practice, it's like, you know what, so this is Loudoun. Maybe we have enough to beat them and hold out some of these guys and then get them ready for the Colorado game.
It's very possible. Just to leave them at home, just so they're fresh. I mean, we're all speculating here. It's very possible that Nico and Juan just didn't want to play on turf, although Juan played on turf at home all last season, so who knows? But maybe Nico didn't want to play on the turf, which can't really blame him for that, especially with a player that has a known history of injuries.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like Nico, maybe didn't want to play on turf, which later in the season, maybe that's an issue with Marcina, but perhaps in the beginning when he knows he needs healthy players, maybe that's not a big thing. And Kamarny also played for Loudoun last season, so perhaps he was already used to that. So we'll see. Hopefully we do have a lot more players that are available this coming week. Hopefully Manley is healthy enough and he's just coming off with a knock or something. Hopefully Prano and Loera are healthy, but we'll see. And I mean, there's no sense in speculating. We'll see what happens in training, and I guess we'll find out next Saturday what happens. Looks like, unfortunately, an RGV player is getting
carried off.
It looked like he had a real bad problem with his knee there. So hopefully he's all right. But speaking of injuries, hopefully everyone's all right, and hopefully everyone gets back into full health here soon, especially for the Dollar Beer Night game against Colorado Springs on Saturday night. So hopefully we'll see you all out there.
Speaking of injuries and stuff, this happened in the Colorado Springs match. A player from Hartford, Lewis, last name Lewis, took a hit to the head, landed wrong. They ended up going to the hospital, but there were some fans of Colorado Springs that were upset on how long the player was down for, how long it took for medical to get out there, along those lines. They thought it was unprofessional that the Hartford bench responded back to them, saying, shut up, along those, and I'm assuming they were saying other things there. So as a fan, if you see staff comes out and within a few minutes they're calling for to bring out the thing that you carry them in,
the gurney,
that's when it's serious. If it takes because this was right at when it was supposed to go into extra time, he was it went down with 88th minute, 92nd minute they were calling, 96th minute or 94th minute, he was on the stretcher and being rolled off, and along those lines where they had him all basically wrapped up, protecting his body and along those lines here. So just as fans, be careful, watch what you say. Obviously if it's a flop and a guy rolling around for a few minutes, that's fine, but if it's a long-term thing, just be careful, and especially if you're near the opposing team bench or even our team's bench, just be kind of kosher. These players are putting their bodies at risk for us. We saw that with Dylan today. I think if we had a full roster, Dylan probably would have been subbed out, but he toughed it out for us. And unfortunately, if there would have been a serious injury, we would have had a an academy kid come on. But just be careful. whether it's the referees, the opposing team, just be careful. And it's a bad look. And they went on social media, to it, and just that's not how we want our fan base to be representative. And be honest with you, we shouldn't want any fan base in USL representing that type of attitude, especially when it's a serious injury. If it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it takes that long for the player safety.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's just a respect thing for sure. And I know a lot of people complain about soccer players, going down easily or, feigning injury or whatnot, but
we do it. San Antonio
absolutely,
does it a lot.
absolutely.
100%.
But you can tell when something is serious, and that's a moment to have some respect and have a little bit of class. So I would agree with you, Harry.
Final thoughts. We'll start with you, Royce, and then me and Rafa can kind of tease up the bracketology, and then if you want to end the show at that point here, but we'll let you start with yours, and then Rafa, and I can tag team the bracketology, kind of set that up for our listeners.
Absolutely. My final thought is just everybody be safe out there, and SAFC, I'll tell the players, let's get healthy. Let's get on that cryogenic tank. Let's get all that ice. Let's get healthy.
Ice bath.
Break out
all
the candles.
All you San Antonio FC fans, let's get some candles. Let's light some candles on the fireplace. Let's say some well wishes. Yeah, say some well wishes. So hopefully that injury list starts to get smaller, and we get the squad out there to get some more time together to build that chemistry on the field, and we'll get the results that come. But at the same time, 2 matches in, we have 4 points. I'm pretty happy with where we're at. So we could have, we could have panicking Harry, and we could be talking about a championship hangover. Instead, we have a win and a draw to start the season, and the draw's on the road. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So let's keep it going. And what about this bracketology?
At least we're not El Paso.
Or Orange County or Phoenix. Not Port Phoenix, but dude, they laid an egg in San Diego today. It wasn't even a close match, but the bracketology, it's going to be the 3rd annual SA Soccer Roundtable bracketology. 3rd version too, right? The first one, I think, was just you and me, and I think you and I just went through it. Coach Cano too.
Cano was
Coach Cano. We went through. Version 2, we had some guests on. We had Jacob. We had a gentleman from El Paso on, and we started at 6 at night and ended up close to 6:30 or 12:30, somewhere around there. So this year, volume 3 or episode 3, we're going to start at noon. We're going to be live. All 4 of us are going to be together. We had a test run. Coach Cano is going to be bringing, the sound system. I'm going to be bringing, kind of my system here to kind of run the show. We're going to do picks there. Steve, who is a contributor to the 50/50 podcast and an academy coach, was one of the academy teams here in town. Rafa, and then of course Coach Cano, coaches St. Mary's Hall in TAPS. So we're all gonna sit down, go over the brackets. We have decided that we're gonna break it up because the first 2 versions have been 6+ hours all in one show. For that here, so
epic.
We're epic and all through here. So, but we're gonna try. And what we've noticed is, by the time you get to the 6As, you're in one continuous shot. There's no breaks or anything along those lines. That I think it's 6A girls that are the last one that's done. I think if my memory serves me right, we flip it, through there. But they tend to get a little bit on the short end of the stick here. So I think we're going to break it up into each classification, each gender. So we'll start out with, I think it's going to be 4A boys, I believe is what we're going to start out with. And then, that'll probably go for an hour to hour and a half. We'll wrap that up. We'll download it, get it up. We'll start, 4A girls and rinse and repeat for that here. So, Rafa, kind of your thoughts. I know you've, you've done the statewide with the 50-50. Ours is obviously a little bit closer, just the San Antonio area. But your thoughts on kind of what the picks between you, Steve, and Coach have, are looking for, what that process will be going through.
Yeah, a lot of it, like I said, we've gone through, analysis, especially when I did those power rankings. So we have a pretty good idea who, some of the contenders, maybe, we'll find out who's the Cinderellas. But, what we're going to do on this part, it's, we're going to go down, break it down, with the teams, records, and and then make our picks and so forth, and that's kind of what we did a little bit last year. But this year, like I said, now we have Steve on. It's like some more knowledge to what some of these teams and what we've been following these last couple months. So it's gonna be great. Like I said, so if you're watching us, watch us live. I'm not saying to skip school, but sneak out somewhere to watch it, especially for the 4A schools.
My kid has his phone out in school, doing his own stuff, and they all got Bluetooth now, so you can have it on and still listen. But for that here, so
or athletic period, you can watch it. I'm sure the teams will kind of be watching. I like the NCAA one, and also, send comments. What do you guys think? And that's the thing is also trying to be more interactive with the people out there that follow us with both shows. And like I said, we're the only live one. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Just. I know last year I got a little flag for some of the games, but hey, this, like I said, it happens that way. But I did get a 78% for taps, so that was a good start for just a little, kind of break the ice there for this next one. So, but I'm looking forward to it, and like I said, good luck to all the teams. I know there's still games tomorrow, believe it or not. And I know there were some complaints on Twitter about some of the teams haven't put up their records, especially in the Valley. I don't know if Vetsa's watching. Can you talk to RGV Sports and update their girls' soccer stuff, especially their standings? But it's gonna be fun, and I think, like I said, hopefully we get a lot of viewers to see how their teams do and who we predict to be lifting those trophies in Georgetown in mid-April.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But any final thoughts that you have outside of the bracketology there, Rafa? I know your team did really well today. Barcelona getting the victory over Real Madrid, so I know you're extremely happy about that.
That was stolen by the VAR. No wonder they're getting charged in court.
Oh,
hey, at least one. Well, there was two Clásicos, one last night, one today. They won the one Saturday. America did beat Chivas today. Like I said, kind of got stolen by the VAR.
How are Chivas still that bad? It seems like after they got rid of what's his name, Pulido, they have been terrible. They're awful.
Oakland just tied it against RGV second minute. So
good result for us. Yeah, I don't know. They actually had the GM. I think of Chivas used to be the GM for America. So there's a reason why America got rid of him. And those are proof we saw last night. I think they weren't too happy about Henry Martin's little celebration, kind of a little tribute to Cuauhtémoc Blanco with there in front of the goal.
Yeah.
But he did apologize for that. It's like, hey, he just got caught up in the moment. It is a Clásico.
Okay.
It is a Clásico, so it is what it is. I mean, that's his idol, Cuauhtémoc Blanco. So
A thorn in the side of many a USMNT fan. Cuauhtemoc Blanco. Anyway, all right. Well, sounds good. Harry, do you have any final thoughts?
No, just be safe, everybody. Enjoy spring break. Well, spring break's wrapping up for most of us, but I believe there are some districts that take it a little bit later. Make sure you're having fun. And like I said here, Saturday, I think close to another sellout here, right? I think you're saying here. So if you need tickets, you probably don't want to wait, because it looks like San Antonio FC tickets will probably be a hot commodity this year. Maybe we can get onto the My San Antonio, hey, what to do on the weekend type thing, but we'll have to see.
No kidding.
If that comes out here. But what's with life without goals? We're out of here and hope everybody has a great day.
Good night, everyone.